hemorrhoids so bad that he has to shove tissue up his ass to absorb the blood. Delvo showed me.
Luke's
Aaron.
probably about out of alcohol.
Well, I was, but then Erin gave me her drink, and she makes awful drinks.
Jesus,
shit.
yes.
I didn't
I've
drink
heard
it.
horror stories.
This is straight vodka.
Oh my
This is
God.
awful.
I don't doubt it.
I put some ice in there.
The question I wanted to start out with, but I didn't. So I'll ask it now.
42. I'm
Dan.
almost afraid to wonder what you're going to ask.
She talked like this. So that's how I'm going to ask the question. Because I was incessantly, like, social media, Amazon stalking the shit out of you. Having the balls to go about it, or in women's case, having the ovaries to go about it.
Well, this sucks. I'm going to go drink, which isn't a bad option. You can
Yeah.
do that.
Like, you're not sitting back there going like, Jesus, that shit actually worked. Right above. I was reading, speaking of tramp stamps, not to go too far off the rails, those flapjacks flopping around. You look like a real hippie. Like, over or under how many joints over 5 have you smoked today?
Water?
Luke is a man. Believe it or not.
I was waiting for it.
I know. This is the most exciting part of the podcast.
No.
You can literally shut the podcast off after this portion that Luke's about to do. It's the fan favorite, the drink episode.
It's my favorite.
Or portion, excuse me.
Whichever.
Not entirely an episode. The drink, his drink previews that he does later on are hilarious. I feel like a narcissist when I watch them like 500 times over, because I feel like, am I just watching myself or am I watching the drink?
I just watch it to hear what King says. That's
His voice is like sweet molasses.
we do miss him today, and we're glad to have Aaron here. And our guest Dan we'll introduce in a minute.
All right, so Luke, for our drink segment, what do you have for us today?
I have the Maestro Collins, which is a gin Tom Collins, but with lime.
What's
The backstory is cool.
a Tom Collins? Is that
One
like a
we gotta
Shirley
make with
Temple?
lemons. I don't know.
Is that like a Larry David?
Arnold Palmer
What
They were just
what
naming-
is an Arnold? Is that lemonade and
and iced tea. It's not actually
Tea.
a drink. You can have one of those.
Well, you could probably. I suppose you could make a add drink out of anything, like just add vodka.
It's what Russians do.
Yeah.
Coffee. It's a drink today. Oh no,
I
this
had
one's cool.
I had my fetal alcohol syndrome corrected earlier this year. My eyes were moved closer together, so.
Did you? I didn't even notice. You made it so far.
They
With
did
that.
great work. I'll talk about the doctor later. It was in a back alley. It was. Never mind. So, what was this called again?
The Maestro Collins. The reason it's called Maestro Collins, I have to open the book. This is out of one of my Christmas presents. My wife doesn't necessarily think I'm an alcoholic, but she sure encourages it.
That's good. It's good to encourage.
It is. I mean, this is a book, one of the 5 I got for Christmas, entirely filled with drinks.
I was sick of rum and cokes.
Oh,
I needed something else.
I was doing fine.
Make me a drink.
It's all very self-serving.
You need to add your repertoire, Luke.
It's not
Good.
my
But
alcohol.
brilliant on your part.
Yeah.
Like
Thank you.
Yeah, because it's very subtle.
It is subtle.
Uh-huh.
I heard you like to drink and read. Here, have 5 books.
Yeah,
And
you're welcome.
yeah, this wasn't for me at all. But no, super. So this one, Maestro Collins. This is an Ernest Hemingway. To Have and Have Another.
Oh, and you've got a couple by him, like a drinkable feast.
A drinkable feast. Yep, drinkable feast. And then this one are those, and they're both amazing. And very interesting.
Is it the same author or who's this one by? Let's give him a shout out.
Philip Green.
Philip Green.
Quite the drunk.
He is.
He must be. I don't know.
The cousin of comedian Tom Green. I don't know. I'm making that up. So
It's good for you. I don't know.
a lot of funny Mm-hmm. Mm. anecdotes in there.
There actually are. So this one has one. This is an Ernest Hemingway. To Have and Have Another. And then this one are those, and they're both amazing. And very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Philip Green. Quite the drunk. He must be. I don't know. The cousin of comedian Tom Green. I don't know. A lot of funny anecdotes in there. There actually are. So this one has one. this guy, 22-year-old Arnold Samuelson, was living in Minnesota, and he read the Hemingway story.
He wrote this at 22?
No,
Oh, okay.
this is the anecdote that explains the cocktail.
All right. I'm not impressed anymore.
I don't know how old he is,
There's
but it was in the spring of 1934. Arnold Samuelson was living in Minnesota. He was 22 years old, and he read the Hemingway story, One Trip Across. And he decided he wanted to meet the author. So he did what everyone did back in those days. He Facebooked him. No, he freaking just hitchhiked to Florida from Minnesota.
You had me. You should have just kept going.
I should have. You would have been
I was like, you were like nodding. and I was
wild.
like,
Yeah, Facebook. Yeah. He freaking hitchhiked to Florida and met Ernest Hemingway. And Ernest Hemingway was so impressed that he was like, "Oh shit, I guess I'll teach you how to write."
No shit.
Yeah. So he had him aboard his boat.
How
He
cool
turned
is
him into
that?
the bartender.
It's super funny
is
when speaking
Hemingway.
of Hemingway, because our first few episodes, of course, we talked about him quite a bit, and then we would segue onto our support for wild game in Africa.
Yeah.
And several listeners would chime in on social media and be like, "Yeah, Hemingway wasn't really all about that."
He liked killing him though.
He was, and I was like, appreciate it.
He certainly enjoyed killing him.
That was a good point.
So do they have there's a backstory for each drink that they, is that kind of the idea?
It's and some backstories are incredibly interesting. Like this one, just the story about this kid, hobo style, making it from Minnesota to Florida, and then Hemingway basically adopts him, and freaking just takes him out on his fishing boat all the time and teaches him how to write.
Oh, okay. I'm a little slow. So that was the story about the drink, not the author.
No, I know nothing about the author.
God, I'm a moron.
No, you're good. We can edit all this out.
Don't.
We won't, but we could. But we won't.
The more people that think I'm an idiot, it's easier.
That's why I'm doing this. People think I'm homeless.
That's been my whole strategy at work since day one.
It's working.
Yeah. Nailed it.
Oh,
That
so
would be kind of funny though, the guy meets Hemingway and then Hemingway's like, you want to write a book? Cool, I'll teach you how to write a book. What do you want to write about? Drinks.
Yeah.
Drinks.
Yeah. Hemingway's like, perfect.
I just want to get people drunk.
dude, Hemingway would have been all in.
God, because
Why didn't I think of that?
Like Dan, at some of our first episodes, was talking to Luke about, we did a bunch of stuff about Hemingway, and his drinking exploits are out of this world, unbelievable. Like a pitcher of gin or something just to start the day.
It was that one day they drank something like 40 some shots in one 24-hour period, each.
Yeah,
it was
breakfast was like a pint glass of in some
gin or
cases
rum.
gin, straight gin.
His poor liver.
It's one of those things where it's you're not even mad, you're impressed.
I couldn't be mad at him at all. And then he still managed to find time to write somewhere in there.
Yeah, which is unbelievable.
Even more amazing.
That's almost like Andre the Giant style. If you've ever read some of the,
yeah,
it's insane.
Yeah, I think it's funny you point that out. I think we made that. We're trying to make that same connection.
Yeah.
But Ernest Hemingway was a normal sized man.
That's true.
Yeah, but Andre the Giant.
Andre the Giant, his Ernest Hemingway stuff, I think, man, I could probably do that, but I would just be hungover for a week. Andre the Giant's, I think, no, that would kill me.
Yeah, Ric Flair was telling a story, they would drive from the stadium back to the hotel, and in that duration, he would drink 20 beers.
Yeah, and somehow didn't have to pee.
No. I think Andre the
Had to
Giant,
pee 4 times.
Dude, yeah.
I have to pee just thinking about it.
Aaron would walk into the gas station, walk out of the gas station, no, gotta pee again. Gotta pee again.
Exactly. Especially at my age, my prostate's about the size of a basketball.
I'm so looking forward to getting as old as you. It's gonna be great. So you want to hear what's in the drink?
Yes, I think everybody does. That's why we do this, Luke.
Oh, is it?
Yes.
I thought it was just so I had
It's
something to drink on the
the
show.
lesser of all the points of doing it, but it's on there.
I just do it so I have something to drink. I don't know. So it's the Maestro Collins. and it is mostly a Tom Collins, but it's 2 ounces of gin, 1 ounce
And
of
what kind of gin are we using here?
Bombay Dry.
Mm-hmm.
It looked like something Hemingway would drink. It looked like cheap and old,
It's good.
which is probably, with the amount he drank, he couldn't have been drinking expensive stuff.
We had an ad opportunity for Bombay, but once you referred to them as cheap, we lost it. So thank you.
But it is delicious. Sorry, I'm not good at the sponsorship thing like you are. How do you even keep me around?
Speaking of our drink sponsorships, once again, I would like to introduce Topo Chinko.
They're never going to sponsor us if you keep calling them Chinko. There's no N in there.
Jesus Christ. That's regrettable.
We can edit that.
Yeah.
Start over. We're going to start the whole section over.
Topo Chinko, the official spring water of Chinko. Did I say it again?
It's Chico.
Chico.
Jesus Christ.
Like, hey, Chico.
God. Topo Chico.
Nice. Well, that rap.
This will definitely be on the drink preview.
Yeah, well,
I can see your mind turning right now.
I'm just logging this away.
Topo Chico, the official spring water of Bored to Death podcast. For those of you like myself that are on your New Year's resolution to avoid alcohol like the plague. A twist of grapefruit makes it different from any other mineral water you've ever had. Because you can't do that on your own. Not like Topo Chico can. The sound of refreshment.
How are you so good at advertising and I'm so bad at it?
And with that, we'll take a quick break and we'll come back.
I haven't.
Oh, sorry. No, I don't know what I was talking about.
We're not done yet.
What's in this?
Okay.
What? Oh, the drink wasn't done?
Oh, no, I had
What?
I hadn't listed all the ingredients.
Oh, sorry.
There's more to do.
Guys, there's stuff in this drink.
They're
It wasn't just magically.
not all water.
What's the rush?
Oh, God. So 2 ounces of dry gin.
Mm-hmm.
1 ounce of simple syrup. 1 ounce lime juice. 2 dashes of Angostura bitters. Put it all in a shaker with ice. Shake it up. Pour it into a glass. Top with like 2 to 4 ounces of seltzer water. And you have the Maestro Collins, named after Arnold Samuelson.
It sounds
Minnesota.
delicious. You're drinking. That's what you're drinking, also, Dan,
I
right?
drank it, yeah.
Aaron,
Oh, God. You need another one.
Wine.
wine. You should be double fisting.
She is with wine.
And that concludes.
Yes, and next we'll talk to Dan.
Okay.
We have half of our cast today is all in HR, which is terrifying.
Yeah,
I feel like I'm about to get fired from my own show.
I already
Like,
have
no,
been.
you just
You
aren't. You just aren't cutting it. I'm so sorry, but we don't need you
I
anymore.
was let go by proxy.
But,
So, what Luke was alluding to, we've got a super exciting guest on here. Author, a specialist in professional development, public speaker. He's developed programs for Goodwill Industries, does career coaching, and a certified behavioral consultant. Dan, how to say your last name?
Sites.
Seitz. Dan Seitz. So when we come back, Dan will be where Luke's sitting. And we're going to talk about his new book called
Back to work.
Back to Work. All right, guys, we'll see you soon. You'll hear from our sponsors.